One of the biggest problems I've struggled with here in this part of the Philippines has been the cost of food. It has been really difficult, really difficult. You see, back in June 2024, 2024, I opened up a restaurant on the beach in Rojas City called the Canadian Beaver. Now, many of you are already going to know that. You're going to yeah, I get it. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so great, and at first I put like really fantastic prices. I was so concerned with trying to be in a competitive market with many of the other options that people have for eating. And, we were very successful in the number of tables and how many people came in and everything. Okay, things are absolutely insane right now. Can't get enough time to do everything, but look at this. The girls have got their uniforms on. They're getting guarded. Absolutely everything is going absolutely crazy. And we have 1 hour to go. Fun?
Yes.
Do you like the mango shakes?
So good. Yes, I like the margarita here.
Oh, and a shot. Okay. And then Frank's deep in a conversation, but I want to say hello, Frank.
Hello, Mike.
How are you enjoying it so far?
The Beaver's getting the better of me.
Oh.
I'm afraid.
Well, I got a very tired one right here. And so let's open.
Canadian Beaver.
There we go.
Okay.
But the real struggle came pretty early on, where the cost of the actual materials that go into making all of our food, and even drinks and things like that, it was just too much. It was incredibly expensive. And the biggest thing is here in the Philippines is buying from places that can give you a certified OR receipt, official receipt. Because without that official receipt that has the actual approved BIR number on it and everything, there's a whole process, you can't use that on your taxes. All right, so otherwise it just looks like you make a ton of money and you have no expenses. Clearly not bad, not good. You don't want to be paying a ton of income tax when you aren't even making any money. Now, you'll always pay income tax here. It's ingrained into businesses, regardless if you make money. And the problem is that, in the West, we have big distribution companies, right? Gordon Food Services, Cisco, those kind of things, where restaurants do not buy from the grocery store. They buy from big distributors they buy in bulk, not these little packages, that kind of thing. And they can save a lot of money. And their cost to make the goods that they're selling is generally around 33%. 30% is the target for all restaurants, and 33% is the high threshold. So whatever your selling price is, it should be at least 33%, if not lower. And here we struggle with 50 to 60%. And if you raise the prices any higher, which I have been, adjusting my prices and less focused on trying to be the cheapest or down with the cheapest, I focused on, okay, let's try working it a different way. How much is my cost on it? Things like that. But even then, different suppliers has different weights, different size chickens, for example, that kind of thing. And so it was still impossible to maintain the 50% that I was trying to at least get to 50%. And so we started something new. We said, okay, what about vegetables? Vegetables are actually really expensive in this part of the country. If you're near Baguio or have good distribution from a place like Baguio up in the mountains, where they grow potatoes and carrots and lots of vegetables, every kind of vegetable you can imagine, because it's much cooler at night there, then yeah, you're going to have really reasonably priced vegetables. But here on the island of Panay, which has got Boracay, and Aklan has also Kalibo. You also have Iloilo City and then Rojas City and many other towns. We don't have that luxury. There is some farms in Antique, but not enough. And so the cost of these vegetables that are brought in from all over the country have been inflated. And so we started a farm, thanks to one of my subscribers who had this property here just sitting empty. because he still got a few more years before he retires. So he had this kubo built here and this big walled-in compound. And he's like, why don't you do this instead of jumping yourself into farming? Why don't you try some farming on your own without having to invest in land or leasing land or anything like that? Give yourself a trial period, I guess you can call it. And so that's what's been going on. Now, the first guy we hired wasn't so good. He loved getting the money, but we'd come here and it would be weeds up to above my knees. He hadn't been here, but yet every day I'd ask him where he is. He'd say, I'm at the farm. So that clearly wasn't working out. I couldn't go 2 weeks without coming here. It was impossible. And I'd have to stand on top of him to make him do the work. So he's gone. And we brought in a lovely couple. Now, they're very economical. They only have to come, a couple days a week, that kind of thing, and keep it clean and watered. Right now it's rainy season, a little less watered, but help us grow. And they are paid just 2,000 pesos a week, which is a great price, right? Really great. And they have been fantastic. They really have been. But we were faced with only ending up with a bunch of cucumbers, and a growing season's about 3 months. And so that's 24,000 pesos. And a few cucumbers is not 24,000 pesos. So we had to give them the riot act recently and say, listen, it's just not sustainable. If we can't get out of the next growing season 24,000 pesos with vegetables, we're going to have to shut this down. And, they snapped too. And they've now expanded on our farm. So I'm going to show you what they've done already. I love it. I love when they were faced with this. Instead of saying, oh, well, they said, let me try to improve it and make it bigger. And let's see what we can get out of it. I love it. I love that kind of foresight and effort and motivation, that kind of thing. So let's take a look. This is the first one that we built, and it's fully enclosed to keep the bugs out and all that. This is got a spring loaded with a bungee cord on the door. And this is where we're at today. Again, it's very wet in here because we've been getting rain. It is rainy season. That tomato did not live, as you can see. I think that's safe to say that it's not going to make it. Not sure what these are. I think these are tomato plants as well. Yeah, and is there more than one here? Yeah, there's something else there, but this is not making it. But as you can see here, we're actually got some pretty good growth here. I don't see any vegetables yet. Again, the tomatoes do not like it here. They're wilting, not doing well. The suckers have been removed. It's bent down, but yeah, it's not liking it. I don't know if it's the type of seeds or what, but I don't know. But I do see some success, including another tomato plant that is not going to make it, it doesn't look like. But this, we have an eggplant. Hey. All right, so that's something. We got something growing here. We do buy eggplants. Cucumbers have been no problem here. They grow really well. Look at the size of this beast. This is coming home with us for sure, because that is huge. That is a good sized cucumber right there. Oh yeah, it might be more. I'll have to pick them later. So anyway, so cucumbers going good. That's great, but just cucumbers alone is not going to do it. And one eggplant. We'll have to see. So this is going to be the test if we're going to make it. They have lots of stuff growing in all of these here. But then, after we told them that, they built this. This is a new area. Now this isn't going to be meshed in and everything because we're not going to go through that expense. And luckily we had all these materials here all stacked up over here. So they didn't have to worry about buying more materials or anything, and they were able to build this all on their own. And we've got a whole new growing area. And now we're going to see if they're going to be able to make 24,000 pesos worth of vegetables when this is all done and grown for this season. So we're trying to keep track of how much we get out of here and see what we can profit out of it or break even out of it. I don't know. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, we need to profit because it helps the beaver. So in order for the beaver to be profitable, we have to get our costs down. And right now, we're fronting this. We're not even counting in the beaver's numbers. But We need a big operation. So just so you know, FYI, you need much more space and much more growth than this for a restaurant, that's for sure. But we'll see. We'll see. Kind of read the riot act to some of the staff too. Not me, but Catherine did, saying that if the Beaver can't find a way to at least break even, because it is costing us a lot of money, we don't know how much longer we'll keep it going either. And I know a lot of you will be like, no, don't close it. I wanted to come visit and all that. If that happens or whatever, there will be another restaurant or bar or something that we can meet at. There are other places. But it has to at least break even. We can't have it. Losing so much money forever prevents me from doing all the things I wanted to get done in life, having no money and having to pour it all into there. So yeah, that's what's going on these days. We're gonna see. We'll update you guys again when we're in a bigger harvest out of here, and we're gonna start doing the math on it and see if this can profit at 24,000 every 3 months pesos, so about $400 US. Interested to know, do any of you think it's possible in the comments? Maybe. We do have bananas here too, don't get me wrong, we have bananas too, so that's something. The mangoes, yeah, there is some mangoes right there. There's a lot of mangoes right there that need to be picked. I don't think my camera is going to show it as well as I want them to, but that's a ton of mangoes. But I don't know how you're going to pick those. I'll talk to my people because they're all just falling down here. Now the owner of the property, he had it sprayed so that they would grow because I couldn't find somebody, and we're supposed to be sharing in on it, but I don't see anybody picking them, so let's get them off the tree so they don't fall on the ground. This one, I think maybe they picked this one because I don't see them all over the ground on this one, and I just see a few mangoes here and there, not many. So knowing all that, what do you guys think? Do you think this will offset our losses at the Canadian Beaver? We could reduce our costs, other than having a piggery and a bunch of other things. I'm not sure what we could do until there is a distributor in this area that can bring things at wholesale. There's not a whole lot you can do. You can't cut labor any more than we do. We're at a number where we shouldn't take away from that, but we shouldn't add either. So I think that's already been handled. Materials is the only way. Materials and potential losses. Like we recently had all our smaller draft beer glasses. We had 30 of them, and now we're down to 3. So that means 27 of them did not break. I know that. We would have heard the breaking, right? So many of them walked out the door because we put our logo on them. And they're a pain in the butt for us to order them. We pay retail, again, because we can't find a printer that does them. And then bring them to a printer, and they will print on the glasses. So once again, lack of wholesale is a problem. All right, well, that's where we're at. This is our farm. This is the struggles that we're going through. Maybe some of you will benefit from it if you were ever thinking of doing these type of things. And we'll update you when we get some more out of here.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again.